Okay. Hey everyone, Cloud VP here, and welcome back to Autumn's Journey. Sorry it's been so long. It's my fault. I apologize. Busy with life, I guess. I don't know. Probably here maybe soon. I should be able to get back in the groove of things, but I don't know. But anyway, so I did cheat ever so slightly, and I did look up a little bit of like what missions I probably should pick. And well, a few of them should have been a bit obvious to me because I want to definitely get the Kerr ending this time. Yeah. Intense rescue mission is not for Kerr. That's for Mari. I'm sorry I cheated, guys. I'm sorry. I will admit I did, but I didn't want to get the friend ending again. I hate getting the friend ending. It's horrible and stupid. It is. So, actually, I don't know why this is probably what I would have picked, Save the Chickens, because I absolutely love chickens. I love to see them. I love to pet them. I actually had a pet chicken at one point in time. So, chickens. Oh my god, I'm going to save these chickens. So, save the chickens. My chickens have been disappearing lately. Please find out who is responsible. Reward: week supply of eggs. This mission was a rather simple and boring one, and all we had to do was mend some holes in the fence and the farmer overlooked. Oh, Kerr's reading, and I'm sorry, I was just reading myself. Oh, it's so cute with the little chickens, though. Oh. Mario was captivated by the chickens, though. He wouldn't stop following them and pestering the tiny yellow things even more. Aura warned him repeatedly, and Mario learned that if one annoyed the chickens long enough, they would gang up on you. Kind of like from The Legend of Zelda. Just saying. It was nice to see his curiosity getting him into trouble. Heavenkind sure keep a lot of animals for food and clothing products. Aura accidentally slipped out something about the sport of cow tipping, and I immediately tried it out. Of course you did. We didn't get our egg reward after that. Damn it, Kerr! Which mission should we do? Oh wow, I actually thought I'd be going out and doing things. I didn't know I was gonna be like, bam, 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 we're done. Oh, okay, next mission. I know since Kerr loves apple tarts, we have to do the honey glazed apple tarts. I need 10 jars of honey from red beehives for a new recipe I've been developing. Reward: free samples. As soon as I read the post out loud, Kerr wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, it looks like he got stung by bees, but he's so happy with the tarts. Getting the honey from the aggressive bees was nearly impossible until I mentioned that bees don't like smoke, and it would drive them away. I am having a hard time reading since I have not read it in a long time. Mari thought about conjuring fog would produce a similar result, but Kerr found out it didn't at all. Luckily, the baker felt so guilty or scared that he doubled the reward for Kerr. Mari and I secretly wanted to nibble on the tarts, but decided not to ask after all. Despite the stings, Kerr was satisfied and claimed it was the best thing he ever tasted. Alright, this is the other one, the Avataro feathers. I play the lead for a ballet, and I simply must have some of the Avataro feathers to adorn my black swan costume. Ooh, we get coins for this one. Since Mori banned any quests that involved fighting other heavenkind, we decided to focus on wildlife. After that rather embarrassing encounter with an Avataro back when I couldn't even walk, I decided to get my revenge. It was so bizarre fighting an animal that could usually be crushed under my claws, and not immediately eating it either. Punching it out in midair was oddly satisfying though, and even Aura and Mari could only stand around and gawk, or shake their heads. I don't get the appeal of decorating yourself in feathers though. Heavenkind culture makes no sense. Hopefully those were the 3 I needed to do if the guy did not lie. Once again, I was scanning the bulletin board, sighing as I longingly gazed at the job postings that only accepted true knights. I rubbed my badge, clearly labeled Kit, Knight in Training, wishing it was the official one. Well, I can't dawdle on it now. I need to do a number of missions before they consider me. In the corner of the guild was a group of knights, talking quietly amongst themselves. I thought I saw one of them look at me before he averted his eyes hastily. The girl beside him giggled. Acorn. Kerr, who was standing beside me, glared daggers at the group, gritting his teeth menacingly. You know what I mean? I just kind of said it. Menacingly? What are you doing? Stop that. He balked and averted his eyes, but said nothing. His ears twitched. Oh, they could twitch. I kind of thought they were just kind of like rock formation things that didn't move, but whatever. Stay focused. Thank you. Go away. Ah, there's a patrol one. Are you up for a nice long walk outside the city? I guess. Or I could ask Mari, however. I think he wants to observe the glass blowers again. I'll go. Thanks. I handed the job posting to the receptionist, who detailed the route and gave me a small map. It's probably more of a training exercise than a real patrol, but it's something at least. I rejoined Kerr, and we exited the bustling city of Oliver and entered the long, sprawling farmland that extended beyond it. There was a well-worn path, so the map was hardly needed. Kerr and I walked side by side, taking in the scenery. Almost all of the leaves were now a vivid fire of yellow, red, and orange. I can't believe when we left Barry, it was still summer. Barry. Oh my god, Barry, it was still summer. Arr, I could read. So much has happened, don't you think? When we first met, you barely talked to me. I'm glad it's different now. Stop just saying or not. I took a wide step forward and turned around, causing him to halt. I stared at him dubiously. What is it? You sulk a lot. Sulk. Oh my god, you sulk a lot, you know? But now you're sulking while deep in thought. That's not like you. Out with it. What's on your mind? How do you handle it? Handle what? What people have been saying about you. Ah, well, I don't hear it directly a lot. You have better hearing than I do. They say you used your mother's name to get where you are, that you're nothing like her, and that you'll never live up to Thank you, Kerr. I really needed to be reminded. What made you want to walk the same path she did anyway? Why do you want to become a knight so badly? Finally, the question both boys had seemed to avoid asking me directly. I inhaled deeply as I prepared my meaningful and profound answer. Well, you see, knights are so cool, and they have swords and shiny armor and stuff, and everyone looks up to them. They always do the honorable thing, right wrongs, and stop evil in its tracks, and they help people with their problems. They fight off all kinds of monsters, slay dragons, and... Wait, what? And rescue fair maidens and lads in distress who... about that last part where... fall in love with the knights, and the knights sigh and go, I'm sorry, but my heart belongs to the path of justice and righteousness. Oh, Lady Knight, they cry, then take my rose as a symbol of, I get it, I get it. See? I was practically bouncing on my heels. I gazed elatedly up at Kerr, my hands clasped in fists over my chest. Clamped. That's why I want to be one so bad. Aren't you doing most of that already? Well, besides slaying dragons and leaving behind a trail of broken hearts. I guess so. But I want the title too. I want it to be official, recognized by the Sun and Moon Council. What about you? Aren't there any dreams you're chasing? You sure seem like the free-spirited type. That's because I am. He stretched his arms up, then sat back on the grass. At first, I was going to chide him for taking a break during a patrol, but I decided a few minutes of rest was acceptable. I sat next to him. I'm not up for this knowledge keeper business. I hate it, but my master insists. Knowledge keeper? He glared at me in frustration. Really, you spent all this time with us and you still know nothing about dragonkind. Hey, you never tell me stuff, and Mari... well, you know Mari. Always goes back to heavenkind talk. Dragons have a long history, and we record everything orally. Everything we know is passed down to a dragon called Knowledge Keeper, who will specialize in something. Could be plants, animals, traditional stories, important events. He sighed in defeat and propped up an elbow, nestling his chin in his palm. It's boring. Tucking my knees up, I hugged them and leaned in to get a good look at his face. He peered back at me impassively. I don't have the concentration or focus to retain all that knowledge. When I was younger, they thought I'd be good at it, and my master picked me. Obviously not, though. I find it easier to stop caring at this point. If I don't care, they don't care. Doesn't seem to work on Master Bedros, though. Wonder what he even sees in me at this point. How do you do it with all those expectations placed on you? Me? I leaned on my knees and stared off at the horizon. Not sure either, but this is the first time I've considered my mom's name a burden more than a help. I guess I've just accepted it. I know I won't ever live up to her legacy, and people perceive that. I can't force someone to see me only for me. However, I have support from my family, the people in Barry, and of course, you guys. They love me for who I am, and they're the ones that matter. I gave him a wry smirk. So, Kerr, how do you view me? As Aurelie, or a pale imitation of Lady Bayard? Did I give him Kerr's voice? I don't know. Why are you asking me? I don't know enough about your mom's legacy to compare you to. You're doing fine. I think you're a good knight in your own right. Knight in training, but thanks. You'll never end up slaying a dragon, though. Oh? With how often you annoy me, I could cross that off my knight accomplishments list pretty easily. Please, even in this form I could take you on. Is that a challenge? He stood up and bared his teeth, widening his stance. Bring it, Acorn. I sighed, wondering if this was even a good idea, but I also got up. I wiped the grass off my skirt and touched my sword hilt. He eyed it condescendingly. Oh, what's this? Relying on a weapon? I'm unarmed. That is hardly fair. You know I'm not good with hand-to-hand combat. His taunting smirk, though, caused me to toss my scabbard aside impetuously. This is a stupid idea, but sure. I bit my knees, clenched my fists, wondering how to start the fight. So, do we count to 3, or do you just wait for... Well, hello there, Kerr. That was very fast. Like, I mean, this music is playing like fighting things, and then it's like, oh no, Kerr's now on top of already. It's like, oh hello there, you're awfully close, but good sir. Anyway, blushy. Okay, moving on. Before I could finish my sentence, Kerr rammed into me, tackling me to the ground. Shocky shock. The wind was knocked out of me as he pinned my shoulders. I glowered at him. I win. Hey, I wasn't done talking. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, trying to concentrate. What are you doing? I opened one eye. Something I should have done before. Oh, that was... Okay, I just thought, like, she transformed him into her. I was like, what just happened? But no, she's on top now. Sorry. Feeling my strength increase, I effortlessly pushed him off. He gawked in surprise. I rolled over him, so I was now straddling him with his arms held down. He blinked. I smirked victoriously. Too easy. Ack! And they flipped over again. Another tussle, and he was looming over me again, his long hair grazing my cheek. Aw, that smirk. If I was in my true form, you would have been crushed under my foot. Bah! I wrestled him, slamming him down so I was on top again. Even in your dragon form, if I had my sword, I would have skewered you a dozen times. Please, it merely felt like splinters. Which really hurt, by the way. Hey, splinters hurt a lot. There you go. Have you ever got... Whoa! We rotated again, and this time, he pinned my wrists. Unable to wriggle out of his grip, I sighed and rested my head back on the grass as my little focus spell faded. If Kerr's body was that of a normal heavenkind, I would have stood a better chance. You win, only because I wasn't allowed my sword. Right. Whatever makes you sleep soundly at night. His grasp on me loosened, but he did not budge. Instead, his eyes examined me intensely before lingering over my neck. He inched closer, and I panicked, shaking my head frantically. Wait, don't take a bite out of me. I said you won. I struggled, and he hastily let go, rolling off me. Phew. That was invading some serious personal space there. What did my mom tell me to do when men got close to me? Wait, I didn't have my sword on me, so her advice would have been useless. I rubbed my neck self-consciously as I sat up, while Kerr angled his body away. After retrieving my scabbard, I noticed Kerr was pacing impatiently. I agree, we've rested enough. Let's finish this patrol and go home. Oh, he's blushy. Kerr? Yeah, sure. He rubbed his forehead as if contemplating something. I resisted commenting, since I knew he would insist it was nothing and refused to answer. Instead, I gave him a friendly slap to the shoulder and to help him focus on the task ahead. Then let's go. You could tell your master that Heavenkind liked long, pointless walks afterwards. He mustered a weak smile, but said nothing. We finished the patrol, and I reported it to the receptionist. Kerr remained taciturn the whole time, and barely said a word when we parted. I wonder if it was something I said, or maybe he finds patrols utterly boring. No, sweetie, I think it was because he was on top of you. Just saying. He was obviously, looking at her neck. Hello. Chapter 7, The Bonds We Share. Here we go. Just gonna keep going. Feeling great. What should I tell him this time? The three of us were once again at one of the altars while Kerr mentally counted reports on his fingers. What about when I took you to the blacksmith? Seeing all those different types of weapons and armor was pretty neat. Or maybe how the Heavenkind keeps written records. Mari cradled the book he was holding, which contained popular children's fairy tales. Oh, that's cute. Mari, why do you keep carrying that around? You can't even read yet. I'm learning. How many more visits or trips do you need to make anyway, Kerr? You're getting close, right? He hastily glanced away. Something like that. Almost there. Just a few more trips. Your master sure is vague. I hope Master Bedros isn't just stringing Kerr along indefinitely. Kerr glowered as we instantly hushed up, but exchanged sly smiles when he turned his back. Wait here. Ara, you as well. Huh? But I was the guest of honor at all your little reports before, and you were getting better at them too. Although, I wish you would stop heavily hinting about how you would like to see a battle tournament in action. I crossed my arms with resolve. I'm not accepting those postings, and that's final. Kerr grumbled some more, but left anyway. I waited behind with Mari, who pursued the book despite the low lighting in the cave. Perused the book. I unsheathed my sword and began to do some practice swings. My footsteps echoed softly through the tunnels as I readjusted my stance every so often. The blade sliced through the air, and I paused momentarily to look at Mari. Hey Mari, do you think Kerr is hiding something? What? Possibly. And you're not the least bit interested in knowing? He closed his book and sighed contemplatively. I'm sure he has his reasons. He's gruff, but he's a good person deep down, and straightforward. Does it bother you that much? I thumped my chest with a fist. Of course it does. A knight is honest and forthright, and I value those virtues. Ah, yes. Well, what the hell was that? Ah, yes! Yes, the virtues. You know, for someone highly interested in Heavenkind culture, you sure don't ask me a lot of questions about knights. Well, you're very passionate about the subject, and I wouldn't want to bother you too much. I sheathed my sword, my eyes filled with determination. But it wouldn't be a bother at all. I would love to tell you everything there is to know. His ear perked up, and he quickly glanced down the tunnel. Ah, he's done. He should be here soon. Sure enough, Kerr reemerged, proclaiming that the conversation with his master had ended on a high note. What did you tell him this time? Kerr smirked. About the time when you and Mari... What about me? You actually mentioned me? We both glanced at Mari in bafflement. He immediately piped down. Sorry, I didn't think Kurt would ever bring me up. Why wouldn't I? We've been together long enough, and you're supervising me. Right. Mari really isn't. We all knew that, though. As we started to leave, Mari halted in his tracks and glanced apprehensively back to where the altar was located. Is it permissible if you two go ahead without me? I wanted to examine the statue before, but I didn't want to interrupt Kerr. That's fine by me, Kerr. He gave a careless shrug, and Mari smiled gratefully. Thank you. I'll see you later. He vanished down the tunnel, and Kerr rubbed his chin in thought. Hey, Aura, do you think Mari's telling us something? I could feel my smile strain. What do you mean? Mari wouldn't hide things from us. You know how he is. I guess. I ushered Kerr towards the entrance and thrust some coins in his hand. I'll stay here. You go ahead and reward yourself with some apple tarts. There's enough for you to buy 5 of them. He jingled the money disappointingly. Just 5? That's more than plenty. You shouldn't indulge in sugar-coated pastries so much. or you'll be the first dragon with a cavity. I gave him a gentle push, and he reluctantly slept forward, briefly glancing over his shoulder before continuing to the entrance. I folded my arms and turned in the direction of the statue, wondering if I should confront Amari or overlook his behavior. Curiosity won over, and I tiptoed toward the rear of the cave once again. What's the point of trying to eavesdrop? They have better hearing than I do anyway. As I continued down the tunnel, I could hear Mari's faint voice. It sounded contrite. I felt a pang of worry, as if I was torn between quickening my pace and remaining furtive? Furtive, I don't know. I sidled against the cave wall until I can hear Mari more closely. Sorry, Master Kaya. I'm so sorry. I leaned over, carefully eyeing Mari. I half expected him to be kneeling like Kerr usually did, but instead he was standing straight with rigid back. He resembled a child being reprimanded for running off into the forbidden woods after a stern warning not to. He nodded solemnly, arms hanging limply by his sides. What? But it wasn't anything. I didn't think that'd be that serious. I'm merely an apprentice. I know it was imprudent of me. Yes. Can I at least stay until Kerr returns? What? Then this whole time. As I sensed the conversation reaching a conclusion, I decided to slip out. As I crept away, my scabbard smacked against the rock wall. I uttered a curse before I could stop myself. Darn it! I slapped my forehead with an open palm. Mari must have heard that. There was no point sneaking away now. Aurelie? Are you there? I know you were listening in the whole time. I turned and Mari approached me. I gave him a sheepish look. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I heard you apologizing to your master. I assume you did something? He shuffled nervously and rubbed his upper arm. Yeah. She wasn't impressed with me. At all. He exhaled deeply. When I said I was sent to watch over Kerr, I lied about that. I knew it. So you were never actually ordered to supervise Kerr? Right. I basically ran away and joined you. Now it makes sense why you're avoiding those altar visits. But why would you need to? Oh, that actually kind of scared me. Because it's not fair. Mari's temptatious outburst left me gaping. I could hear his voice echo throughout the tunnel. Hands trembling at his side, he clenched his fist so hard that his knuckles went white. It seemed as if all of the frustration and bitterness he had concealed were finally beginning to surface. Why did he get to go? No, he was forced. Well, I was willing. I studied the Heavenkind language, observed as much as I could, practiced the transformation spell, and he's the one who was sent. And Kerr doesn't care. He's not interested in Heavenkind or building a rapport with them. He quivered visibly. He probably felt ambivalent towards Kerr for quite some time, and yet had never expressed it. I couldn't bear to see him so upset. Stepping forward, I extended my arms and embraced Mari, drawing him close. He shifted in the hug and rested his hands against my back, burying his face into my shoulder. I scrambled for something that could reassure him, but my mind was blank. It's okay. I'm sorry for that. It's not like me to begrudge someone. And I'm tired of feeling this way. When Master Kia mentioned what happened between Kerr and Master Bedros, I was envious and decided to see for myself. After Kerr casually asked if I was sent, I instantly saw an opportunity, so I said yes. I'm sorry I never told you both. I guess I was worried that if you found out, you wouldn't want me around anymore. I playfully ruffled his hair. Oh, please, like we would do that. Kerr might. I wouldn't let him. I could feel his shoulders shuttle as he chuckled against me. Master Bedros is very open-minded about Heavenkind, but Master Kia is way too wary. Or is too wary. I begged her multiple times to send me as a representative, but she kept saying I wasn't ready. My heart panged since I could relate to that, constantly being told how one wasn't prepared. I reluctantly parted from Mari, but gave both his shoulders a reassuring squeeze. Maybe she was concerned about you, or I could be wrong, but maybe she thought you weren't ready because you would get too emotionally invested or attached. I would not. He meekly quieted down, but then reflected on the comment. Maybe. That's him, sorry. I admit I tend to rely more on my feelings, despite trying to be more sensible. I also get distracted a lot. And I'm too nosy for my own good. And if I'm trying to help build a relationship between Heavenkind and Dragonkind, I need to be more rational. I don't know how Kurt treats everything so objectively. Objectively, or with indifference in general. We chuckled. So what happens now? Will you be ordered back, or will you be allowed to stay? He sighed despondently and pressed his fingers together as he mulled over the question. I'm allowed to stay until Kerr returns. However, when I get back, punishment will be severe. I don't think it'll be that bad, but... Huh? Why? Why will they punish you? I'm a knowledge keeper in training. I don't even specialize in anything yet. I just have the basics. However, a future knowledge keeper running away is, well... Think of it as being responsible for all the books vanishing from the library. It is the single source of knowledge people have access to in the city. Ah, a lot of important things would be gone. Culture, art, literature. A knowledge keeper's responsibility is to inform other dragonkind. Therefore, they stay enlightened and pass knowledge on to their kin. And to make sure detrimental knowledge is only imparted wisely, since it could be used against others. My actions could be viewed as treachery. He forced a small smile to comfort me, but I could tell he was extremely nervous about the consequences. Don't worry about it, Hourly. This was my decision. I have no regrets. Alright, but if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I'm sorry you felt like you couldn't tell us. I don't want you to be burdened with this all on your own. He nodded gratefully. Thank you. Besides, I should start acting more rational. I let my emotions get the better of me regarding certain... It's nothing, Arlie. I need to talk to Kerr first. Don't worry, I won't press you about it. I trust you, Mari. I flashed him a genuine smile, and his cheeks flushed modestly. And I'm sure Kerr trusts you too, even if he doesn't like admitting anything. It was then I heard a loud sneeze followed by Kerr's gruff voice. What are you two still doing here? Kerr, I thought you were going to get apple tarts. I already did that, and I'm still hungry. Gah, I hope I'm not coming down with something. He rubbed his nose, then urged us to follow him outside. Mari and I exchanged amused glances, and I gave him a pat on the back. Good luck with the talk. Thank you. We'll see how it works out. I doubt he'll try to chastise you at this point. You two seem to get along now. Once we were in the open air, I fished out some more coins and thrust them to Mari's hand. Here, you know what to do. I gave him a supportive shudge to urge him onward, then waved to Kerr. I have some errands to do. You two have fun without me for now. Kerr shot me an inquisitive look, but said nothing. It wasn't too unusual for me to run off to the guild headquarters or squeeze in some solo sword training. Come to think of it, all I had to do was announce I was doing night training, and they would respectively leave me alone, quickly. I might as well do that anyway. I mentally wished Mari good luck and left on different path from the boys. Bye, boys. It was nice seeing you. Bye-bye. Bad time for that. Ugh, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, my everything hurts. I flopped down into the bed of my assigned room. I groaned and rolled over, staring vacantly at the ceiling. I'd spent the rest of the afternoon training with some real knights, and now my thoughts drifted to Kerr and Mari. I wondered how their conversation went. I glanced out the window, which provided a nice view of the gardens and the dark blue sky. Should I check up on them? Grabbing my blanket and using it as a shawl, I exited the lodge and took a stroll in the garden. Beautiful. They would usually be here. Sometimes Kerr slept in the trees, while Mari nestled by a trunk. After some more searching, I was about to give up when I spotted a leg by one of the trees. Remaining quiet, I tiptoed over and saw Kerr sleeping peacefully against the bark. Aww, they're sleeping together. Beside him was Mari, his head leaning against Kerr's shoulder. Oh, I remember they said dragons like to kind of sleep together. Oh, so cute! Beside him was Mari, his head leaning against Kerr's shoulder. A smile appeared on my lips. Aw, I guess it worked out. It was then that I noticed how cold the air felt around my cheeks. Many of the trees were half bare, and the leaves were piling up on the grass. A subtle, crisp freshness lingered with each breath. It was definitely autumn. Are they getting cold? I didn't want to disturb them, but decided to leave my blanket. As I knelt down, I carefully spread it out and was about to drape it over their bodies. However, Kerr stirred. As he sat up, Mari slipped off his shoulder and fell back into the trunk. And they're both up. Ah, sorry, I didn't mean to wake you two. Their faces. Mari groaned, then rubbed one eye, giving Kerr a pouting glare. Ow, what was that for? He trailed off when he spotted me. Kerr ticked his tongue in embarrassment. Clicked his tongue. What are you doing here? I wanted to see if you two are alright, or if you were getting cold. Mari lowered his eyelids in disappointment. That's all? Huh? Click. For a second, I thought you were going to join us. Ah, sorry. I dropped the blanket and hastily jumped back, waving my hands frantically in front of me. No. I was just checking up on you. Heavenkind don't, engage in snuggling with friends. But he fiddled with a strand of his hair forlornly. We've been with you for quite some time now, and the fact we've never bonded feels like we're distant. My eyes darted between them hesitantly. Does it really feel like that? Kerr glanced down, saying nothing, while Mari gave me a pleading look. After some vacillation? Vacillation? I don't know. I sighed and grabbed the blanket before taking a step towards them. Fine, but just for a little while. I turned around, right as Mari snuffled out of the way to give me some room. I sat down. I don't plan to stay here all night. I trailed off as Mari squeezed back against the tree, close enough that his arm gently grazed mine. My shoulder reclined against Kerr, who had one leg sprawled straight and another tucked in. I allowed myself to completely relax. So, I guess Mari talked to you earlier, Kerr? Yeah. Oh, yeah. For a little one, he carried a lot of resentment towards me. There was a small groan and protest from Mari's lips. I'm older than you. It was obvious he could hear our talk, but was too tired to carry on a conversation with us. I chuckled. And it's not like he was the only one hiding something. Really now? What would you reluctantly like to admit to me this time? He hastily averted his eyes and grumbled. Shut up. I stuck out my tongue to show him I was just joshing him. Sorry, so what is it? He closed his eyes and grit his teeth, and I can hear him inhale deeply. I could have returned earlier if I wanted to. This curse was offered to be lifted a while ago. Wait, you can turn back to an earth dragon any time? Yeah, although I need to visit an altar first since my master still has to remove the curse. But if I do, I won't be able to revert to Heavenkind form without Master Bedro's help. Unlike Mari, I didn't bother learning the transformation spell. And of course, he probably won't transform me a second time, not after I refused to return right away. Wait, so both of you are in huge trouble now? He suppressed a chuckle. Something like that. Then why aren't you going back? There's no reason for you to stay here anymore. Ara. He gazed down at me with resolve. I'm not returning until Mari is satisfied learning about Heavenkind culture and you become a knight. I want to see it. You as a real knight. My heart leapt up in my chest. I could feel my lower lip quiver. Kerr, you really care about that? My dream? It's important to you, right? Kerr? No, she's gonna cry. She's like, no, so sad. Okay. I leaned over and embraced Kerr, genuinely touched. I could sense his arms hoveringly, awkwardly around me. What is this parasitic gesture? What are you doing? It's called a hug. Heavenkind use it to express affection between friends. And right now, I'm really, really happy. I'm probably gonna cry. Please don't cry. I never know how to act when that happens. And what does one do in reply to this hug? Usually a hug back? I could feel his arms wavering before they enveloped my upper back. We remained in this position for a few minutes. Kerr gently nudged my forehead with his before withdrawing his arms and pulling away in embarrassment. I adjusted the blanket to make sure Mari was comfortable. You guys, I don't want you two getting into more trouble because of me. It's our decision, and it's not like we'll get reprimanded further. We'll remain with you until you return to Barry at least. Thank you. It felt strange. Just the notion of them leaving seemed far off, and I realized I had never really thought about it until now. I closed my eyelids and nestled against Kerr's arm, while one hand rested on Mari's shoulder. These two... both are wonderful friends. Oh, so, yeah, okay. Obviously, guys, Mari's a good friend. Kerr is ... is the one I need to answer, because both are wonderful friends is going to give me the friendship ending. My cheeks grew warm as I glanced at Kerr's sleeping face. From the beginning, he had caused me so much trouble and vexation, petty arguments, bickering, and bringing out our most irritable sides. And yet, he could be surprisingly sweet and considerate at times. I wasn't sure what it was, but I knew I cared for him a lot. I guess I can remain here a few more minutes. And then I was gone. The end. Oh my, we're in the next chapter. Chapter 8, the last quest. How long have I been doing this for, guys? Ugh. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get all of this done. We're gonna finish it, guys. We're gonna do it. Do it strong. Once again, I was staring at the bulletin board trying to find something. Anything. I could tell it was nearing the end of fall because the herb gathering postings were gone, along with the farm help. I want to be a knight before the postings are all requests for shoveling snow. Come on, something, anything. Another battle tournament? No. If I give in to that, Kerr wins. It was then I noticed a posting that recruited both knights and knights in training. I hastily snatched it up, almost knocking down the other postings in my rush. Huh? Another escort mission? Haven't done that since we left Barry. Merchant Ventures. Name sounds familiar. Ah, it's a delivery to Norvell. That's pretty far. Swing back and forth, I tried to weigh my options. On one hand, it was a good opportunity to mingle with real knights. On the other, it meant leaving Oliver. I wondered whether the boys would be up for another long journey. I reread the posting multiple times before zeroing in on the deadline. Pretty soon. I don't like making snap decisions without Kerr and Mari's input first. Maybe if I hurry I could. The receptionist, who was leaning over with one elbow propped up on the table, rising eyebrow, amused by my indecisiveness. I showed the posting to her, hoping for a second opinion. What do you think of this? Ah, this one. It'll definitely earn you some points towards your graduation to knight status. You're pretty close too, and this is the high-ranking quest. And actually, if you accept that posting, you'll most likely be knighted. I slapped the posting down on the counter. Done. She accepted the paper and gave me a small note with directions, a meeting time, and names. Wow, looks like quite a few people accepted this one. Sounds important. Apparently, the contents are very valuable, hence all the bodyguards. There was something nagging at me, but the excitement of accepting such a critical task made me giddy. I practically sprinted out to the guild in the direction of the gardens, hoping to find Kerr and Mari there. To Norville, huh? I don't know, Arlie. Yeah, it's a little out of the way, but I know it'll be a good experience, and we'll see a new town. I think they specialize in mining and all that, and I'm sure the dragon altar there would be impressive. Not that you need to see them anymore, Kerr. I don't care either way. Mari? What was the merchant company again? Merchant Ventures? A dark expression flickered across Mari's face. Is that the same group we escorted when we left Barry? I rubbed my head as I reflected back. Oh, you're right. We did help them before. Are you concerned it'll be dangerous again? Don't worry. There'll be even more bodyguards this time around. However, Mari was frantically shaking his head as I explained. It's not that. When we escorted that carriage, and when that box fell, I saw its contents. I'm pretty sure it was dragon remains. I knew it! A tense atmosphere engulfed us, and it took me a moment to register everything. What? No, that can't be. Are you absolutely positive? And you didn't tell us, or our masters? Keeping something like this secret is... Hear me out. I know I shouldn't have remained quiet about it. At first, I thought I was wrong. I've never stumbled upon dragon remains myself, and I'm not that familiar with Kirifis, but the feathers, the bones... I knew if I reported this to Master Kaya, we would both be immediately ordered back, even if I was just guessing, no exceptions. I was selfish. I didn't want the journey to end so abruptly. My master was right. I wasn't ready to be a representative for dragonkind. I hope I could build a better relationship between our races. I shouldn't disregard acts like this. Kerr peered at me dubiously. You had no idea something like this was going on? I fervently shook my head. None. I wasn't aware of this at all. I paused, realizing I was treading on delicate territory. Foul implications aside, is there something wrong about possessing dragon remains? Kerr and Mari stared at me as if I uttered a blasphemy in the church. I immediately glanced down in jargon. No one should be possessing dragon remains. What he means is, when a dragonkind dies, their body eventually returns to Ishtara. Earth dragons become the mountains, Irius becomes the rivers and lakes, which is why we prefer to die in peace, where no one can find our remains. It's sacrilegious to disturb them, and any dragonkind that accidentally discovered them will immediately avoid the resting place. I highly doubt that Heavenkind got a hold of those remains with the Dragonkind's blessing. No, a Dragonkind can't return to Wishtera if their remains are disturbed. So those people acquired their remains through furtive means. Maybe it was an accident. You did say even Dragonkind can stumble upon them. Maybe the merchants had no idea those belonged to Dragonkind. Kerr glared at me accusingly. Are you defending them? She kind of is. What? No, I mean... I sighed and rubbed my forehead. I'm trying to make sense of this. I don't think my people would do something that disrespectful. At least, I'd like to believe that. We don't have much to go on. Now I could see why Mario was so hesitant bringing the box's contents up earlier. Too many questions and not enough answers. Everything regarding this was unsettling and ominous. Okay, guys, I actually am going to end this here because I'm having a hard time continuing reading, and I'm, like, getting, like, kind of cross-eyed. I'm like, oh, it's hard to read. So I think this is a great place to end this on. Why am I moving that? I've, like, just went to put my microphone away. It's like, I don't need this anymore. But I hope that, you know, Kerr and Arlie, rather, don't get in a fight over this, because I kind of feel like that might be where it's going, and then maybe we'll see the true feelings of them. Because I'm very sure we're very close to the end, because it did say this is like the last quest. So we should be there very soon. The next episode should wrap this up nicely, and we'll get to see the lovely ending of Kerr and Arlie. And Mari too, because Mari's cute. I like him. He's a good friend. In this one, at least. I'll do his path next. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Sorry it took so long. I'll try to get the next one much faster than this. But anyway, I hope to see you all at the next episode. So until then, bye everyone!